Sometimes the way officers talk about their ideals is almost embarrassing, but they have to think that way.
I was shot down January 23rd, 1967, over North Vietnam. And they took some films of us and whatnot, and then escorted us on into Hanoi, where we began our little ordeal up there for some 6.5 years. The common denominator which enabled, in my judgment, the American prisoners of war to come home with their heads held high was the unwillingness of the individuals there to sacrifice their own personal reputation. I absolutely believe that our American values, which are shared throughout the society, and gifts of our forebears, and in my judgment, not values and mores of which we can be proud, because I'd rather use the word thankful. I think it's a much better word. I'm very thankful we have those kinds of attitudes in the country, were what enabled us to overcome the enemy's efforts to exploit us successfully, and in fact made us unwilling to let one another down. You know, when we lost everything we had, we still had each other.
Now, what Arnold Toynbee used to call the military virtues, fortitude, endurance, loyalty, courage, and so on, these are good qualities in any collection of men and enrich the society in which they are prominent. But in the military society, there are functional necessities, which is something quite different. I mean, a man can be false, fleeting, perjured, in every way corrupt, and be a brilliant mathematician or one of the world's greatest painters. But there's one thing he can't be, and that is a good soldier, sailor, or airman. Now, it's his group coherence and the unlimited liability which, between them, set the military professional apart. And I think will continue to do so.
My profession is not just to fight, but to protect my motherland. If aggressive forces impose war on us, like all Soviet soldiers and the whole Soviet people, I would give all my abilities, my experience, and if necessary, my life, to protect my socialist motherland, to achieve the total destruction of the enemy.
How would you feel about going into combat again?
I don't want to go. I started to say I think anyone would be a fool to want to go. I don't want to say that. I would go because I'm a professional soldier, and I take great pride in the fact that I'm a professional soldier. I asked to be a soldier. I chose to be a soldier. I've trained to be a soldier. And I can't think of anything more honorable for me personally than to be a soldier. And that's my job if my country asks me to go and fight. I would do that for myself, for my family, for my country, and for my God. But I don't want to have to do that, but I'm willing to if that comes along.
The military profession is riddled with paradox. Officers really do care about the men under their command, yet they must use up their lives in order to win battles. The trade is now dominated by technology, but those who run it still cling to tradition and ritual. Armies are societies based on order and discipline, and their purpose in battle is to destroy precisely those qualities in other armies. There are no people kinder and more unselfish to each other than soldiers in combat, who are at the very same time trying to kill other people who just wear different uniforms. None of it makes any sense, and yet military men must believe it all does, or they couldn't do their jobs. You have to ignore a lot of reality to be a good soldier. The last time this army fought a major war was in the 1940s. What the soldiers had to face when they got there required every mental defense the army could give them. And when they were finished fighting, the ones that were left still needed to believe in all the ideas that had got them there in the first place in order to shield themselves from the full truth of what they had seen and what they had done.